to Palm Beach County.
And we saw like children and parents and all these people dead lined up, and I was like, okay, this is not the Haiti that I know.
This is just one of several student survivors of the January 12th earthquake that leveled
The earthquake rocked this impoverished Caribbean nation late this afternoon. The 7.0 quake was centered roughly 10 miles from the capital city, Port-au-Prince, and there are reports of at least one strong...
To give you an idea about how bad the devastation is here in Port-au-Prince, we stopped at this lookout point on the way to the city. You can see on this hillside, many of the houses have collapsed, sliding down into the lower houses. The devastation...
Start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. That is true. We'll make a better day. Just you and me. We are the world. We are the children. The children. We are the ones who make a better day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. We are the world. We are the children. Let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives.
Rolling.
The earthquake in Haiti is absolutely beyond anything that any of us can comprehend.
And wherever you are watching this broadcast throughout the world, I hope you can hug a loved one close and thank God that you are not in Port-au-Prince tonight.
Port-au-Prince is a city roughly the size of Chicago, and in about 30 seconds, half of all of the buildings were gone or no longer safe to enter. 10% of the population was killed, 20% of the government employees were killed, and more than half of the population was left homeless. So we're talking about somewhere between 1.5 and 2 million people sleeping in the streets. My first experience landing on the ground in Haiti, I was taken to the camp. There were tens of thousands of people standing in line to be registered as internally displaced people. There's an earthquake that's 7.0 magnitude. I mean, we have those hit Los Angeles. There's damage, but it's not absolute destruction. And so when the earthquake hits Haiti, what you really see unraveling are the effects of decades of poverty that's allowed a city to be built in such a way that essentially all of the buildings are dust waiting to happen. In a disaster response, there are no good options. It's an exercise of choosing the least worst options with the limited information you have available in the extremely short time frame you have to respond. And so, oftentimes the failures of disaster response are not so much unintended consequences as a failure of information, failure of collaboration, failure of communication, failure of coordination. And so I would say the greatest obstacle facing disaster response is in information management and dissemination, as well as ensuring that there is a decision-making process and really a chain of command or authority in disasters like Haiti to ensure that people are able to use their resources as efficiently as possible.
Surprising storm is brewing, invisible to the naked eye. Deep within the earth, titanic forces are building towards a catastrophe. A mega quake.
It's going to blow people's minds.
It will be a disaster, much larger than Katrina.
You're talking about something that's tens of thousands of times the size of any earthquake we've seen.
The race is on to predict when it will hit.
I wouldn't be surprised if it happened next week.
And just how powerful the wave of destruction will be. Megaquakes are among the most powerful forces of nature. They rival the destructive energy packed in an arsenal of atomic bombs. And they strike suddenly, violently, and without warning. In 2004, a megaquake in Sumatra triggered a monster wave that killed more than 250,000 people. In 2010, another strike, this time in Chile. This megaquake had the power of thousands of nuclear bombs. It sped up the Earth's rotation, shortened the day by a microsecond, and moved an entire town over 3 meters. Now, many investigators suspect that the Pacific Northwest is in the same crosshairs. 3 large cities: Vancouver, British Columbia, Seattle, Washington, and Portland, Oregon, as well as 10 million people, sit right in the danger zone.
As far as fatalities, it would be on par with what we saw in World War II. We would expect to have 2, 3, 4 people per 1,000 die. It's the same type of earthquake that we saw recently in Chile, which was a magnitude 8.8, and it's the same type of earthquake that we saw in Sumatra in 2004. That was a magnitude 9.1.
Investigators believe the threat of a similar megaquake is real. Just offshore, hidden beneath ocean waves, lies a ticking time bomb.
This is the spot where the earthquake's going to come from. It's about 12 to 15 kilometers beneath the seafloor right below us here.
Marine geologist Chris Goldfinger gets as close as humanly possible to the place where the Earth will start to rip apart. A megaquake strike zone. We like to think the Earth beneath our feet is solid. But take a closer look. The crust is actually made of about a dozen plates. They move, grow, and grind into one another along fault lines. This is where megaquakes are born. In the region known as Cascadia, a Pacific plate named Juan de Fuca meets North America and dives below it. It's a special fault called a subduction zone. A megaquake is fueled when 2 plates get stuck. Pressure builds and then breaks free with fury. Investigators can't look into the Earth and watch the plates, but their high-tech tools paint a picture of an impending disaster. A submarine camera captures the point where the 2 plates make contact, about 100 kilometers off the coast. The video reveals little sign of trouble. But Goldfinger sees enormous and dangerous forces at work.
Okay, we're going to put the pole out.
Sonar can detect what's invisible to a camera's lens.
Oh, okay. About where that 20 fathom mark is? Yeah, that'd be perfect.
If the fault is harmless, the seabed should appear smooth and undisturbed. This would indicate the plates are slipping past each other unimpeded. If sonar detects mountains, it's a sign the plates are jammed and an earthquake is building. The sonar map is striking. The Juan de Fuca plate is jamming itself under North America, pushing up the continental shelf. The two plates are not sliding past each other. They are locked in a collision. North America is buckling under pressure from the oceanic plate, and at some point it will suddenly release in one massive jolt.
A subduction earthquake is the largest type of earthquake on Earth, and the reason is that the size of the earthquake is proportional to the surface area that actually moves during the earthquake.
That surface area is huge. It is some 1,000 kilometers long from southern Canada to northern California, and at least 50 kilometers wide, making it as big as Ireland.
The surface area is just giant. Very large surface area makes a very large earthquake.
The fault is so large, scientists give it a special name: a megathrust. And while they've struck before, none has ever threatened an area as highly developed as Cascadia.
In recent times, there has not been a megathrust earthquake under a major city. So we really haven't seen the worst that the Earth can throw at a major city yet.
Due to the fault's size, the tremendous shaking could last for 5 minutes, a virtual lifetime of terror for those who experience it.
One thing that's dramatically different about these big subduction zone earthquakes is that they take a lot longer to rupture because they rupture a large area.
The threat is looming, which poses the question, exactly when will the megathrust strike?